Welcome to Hip Hop Movie Club, the show that harmonizes the rhythm of hip hop with the magic of movies. We just watched Piece by Piece in the theater, and this is like our homage to leaving the theater with Ronald Young, because we just left the theater. I'm Dino Wright, podcaster, filmmaker, longtime hip hop fan, and this is my first Lego movie. Oops.
I'm JB, 80s and the 90s nostalgia junkie, and I've seen a few Lego movies, and I'm happy right now.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Boogie, DJ, longtime hip hop fan, and I'm also a fan of the Lego movies and Lego in general.
All right, so we just watched the movie. I'll hand it to our point guard to start us off.
All right, yes. So Piece by Piece is a Lego movie, which is a biopic of Pharrell Williams' life story, and I just thought it was really well done. It was just fun. It had a lot of cameos. Everybody that was influential in his life, starting from when he was a child. He was influenced by the music of Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, among others, and I think there's this great story behind it, as you know, you can be your own person. You don't have to follow a set path, and you just live through the creative spirit, and if I feel inspired afterwards. What do you think about that, Boogie?
Yeah, so I think it was visually stunning, to be honest. You know, you think of Lego and you think it's like it's just strictly for kids, but as an adult watching it, I was just like, wow, like they put a lot of thought into the visuals, and as he was telling his story, so you actually could feel the emotion that he was putting out as he was speaking. It was really good. It was very well done. It gave me a lot of emotions, you know, because I like rooting for the little guys and the underdogs, and it showed how, you know, he actually got into music, and what made him steer towards music was that, you know, he got to high school and the middle school, and just kind of felt lost a little bit academically and was struggling, but you know, found his way because the suggestion for him to start taking up music, and he found his way. He found a lot of creatives, and it just, you know, it was good to see that story, you know, put out on the screen, even though it wasn't even live action. You know, you can definitely feel like you were there, you would follow along, and the cameos were great. You know, I love the cameos, and as a DJ, you know, I played, like, I swear every song that was featured in the movie that was his, I played those songs. They're all bangers, and I didn't even, like, I don't know why I forgot, but it's just like, oh wow, that's right, he did produce that because there was a string of hits where he was just putting them out like bangers one after the other. I mean, from hip hop to rock to alternative to his own stuff, you know, with him on the vocals, and it was just great to see that story. I'd highly recommend it. Definitely see it.
Yes, it's definitely a must watch, or at least spend the time to go see it. For me, the story arc was really nicely done, and you would think a guy with a hit like Happy, they could have ended it there and it would have been fine, but you really saw some of the darker stuff that had to come through to get to where Happy was, and then right after was a lot of the I Can't Breathe stuff too.
Thank you, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we record this in a diner, life finds a way. And so it was really great to watch, and it was really well constructed, I thought. And like Boogie said, it's just visually really, really fun to watch. It's visually stunning, and yeah, the Lego part of it really makes for some cool storytelling.
Yeah, and you could see more of his influences and more of the folks he collaborated with. And it was just cool to see them as Lego images too. Folks like Missy Elliott, Nore, Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, Busta Rhymes. These are all, you know, Lego characters in here telling their story. I think you mentioned Gwen Stefani and No Doubt, Daft Punk in their gear. It was so creative. It was almost like a magical experience to see, like you said, the career arc, his influences. And again, the moral of the story is like, hey, march to your own beat. He created so many beats for so many people, so influential. He was inspired by Carl Sagan, famous astronomer, and he has that kind of space mentality. And you can see all the different elements come together. He starts off by being inspired by water, being in water as a child, and through space and all these different elements. He's really a spiritual person, and it comes out in his music. And it's kind of like he went through a lot of difficulties, but in the end, it was emotional, as Boogie said, because he was like, man, you know what? As down as I was, people were rooting for me. People were really rooting for me. And I think there is a lot of goodness in humanity if you can just, see through the negativity. There's a lot of negativity out there, but if you just, stick to your guns and kind of find what's inside you that drives you and follow your passion, good things could happen.
And being from Virginia Beach, there was a strong tie to Neptune and Poseidon and the ocean and water. So, he definitely kept his head down and kept swimming, and he found success. And it was really cool to see that. And I didn't realize, it's funny because, you don't know what people are going through as successful as they seem. And I had no idea that he was going through that dark period. Even as he had reached the top, there was a point where he almost hit rock bottom mentally. He wasn't putting out the hits that he was used to. He was trying to conform to what, others wanted him to be. He's, this song is going to be for the women, and this song is going to be for the guys, and this is going to be a hip hop song, this is going to be a rock song, and all of those, different types of songs that he was trying to do were horrible. Even like Pusha T said that he put out his worst song in that period, and it was actually a song that he got the beat from Pharrell, and it was like, wow, really? So you think about stuff like that and how it could have really damaged his career, but he was able to bounce back by just sticking to his roots and just saying, you know what? When I was putting out those hits for everybody, I wasn't trying to make a song just for, this type of this genre or this, gender or whatever. It was just like, I'm gonna make my music, and it just flowed, and everybody kind of latched onto it at that point. And once he realized that that's what made him a superstar producer and an artist, he was able to bounce back. Just stick to your guns, be yourself.
Yeah, it was a good lesson in staying true to yourself, and even in your depths, as long as the people around you support you. He got lucky with Get Lucky, and that it brought him to Happy. And so it was kind of a nice little mini arc within the whole story that, he had a little bit of luck to get through, and then he did. And then he got to Happy, which I think is one of the great songs of the 21st century.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think another fortuitous thing that happened to Pharrell was that Teddy Riley moved into his town and was in walking distance with his studio, and because he was putting out these beats and he wasn't really getting anywhere really, and Teddy Riley comes through, and he starts having these talent competitions, and the Neptunes just blew him away, and he was super impressed. And another thing is his Pharrell's tenacity, the way he just refused to give up. He was dancing on tables in front of record producers, going door to door, the people that produced the big hip hop acts, and he just wouldn't give up. He just wouldn't give up. And then all of a sudden, he has a breakthrough with Nore, and then everybody's calling him. So many life lessons in this movie. Don't give up, stick to your guns, stay true to yourself, but also help out your fellow man also, because Pusha T was at a low point too. He wrote a song just for him. He said, if you don't act now, I'm going to give us to Jay-Z. He came out with Grinding, which was a huge hit. Yeah, so, man, Pharrell is a national treasure. And I think this Lego movie version, piece by piece, really puts it on display for everybody to see. So I do encourage everybody to go see it.
Yeah, I think the one piggyback, on JB said that one point with the talent competition at the high school, everybody was trying to be like the next Whitney Houston or, singing all the same types of songs. And then what got Teddy Riley's attention was the fact that The Neptunes at the time, they were calling them, the band was the Neptunes. They were different. Like they came out, they looked completely different. You had, Pharrell, at one point he's singing vocals, then he's rapping, then he's singing again, then he's playing the drums, and then he's playing this instrument, and then playing that instrument. And then everybody was kind of like switching around and doing different things. And that's what got his attention, was the fact that he was different from the beginning, is what got his foot in the door to begin with. So, yeah, there goes that lesson again. Stick to your guns, be yourself. Just a whole lot of little nuggets. I wish I was in there taking notes as I was watching the movie, because there were so many quotables in that movie, like quotables that came from his parents and came from his grandmother and came from the pastor at the church. So many quotables. Watch it with a notepad and a pencil if you can.
I did have a notepad with me, and I was able to write down a few things. One of the things that really stuck with me was, and I forget exactly who said it at the time, but in his darkest times, he was trying to stay relevant, and the quote was, "Relevance is a drug." And for us as creators, and it is a grind to have to try to stay relevant and to try to appeal to the masses, or at least some kind of audience. And sometimes you just got to go your own way. And this movie nicely illustrated that.
Yeah, and another point towards the end is that we're all just like molecules vibrating in this earth. And if you take a step back and look at it from like a space type view, I mean, that's all we are. We're just specks in here, and just try to make the best of what you can on this life. What are you going to give back to your fellow man and to society? And Pharrell's given us so much. In fact, I didn't even realize that he was instrumental on the loop in Kendrick Lamar's All Right, which became the anthem for Black Lives Matter. So there's even that political commentary in there also. That plus, like you said, Happy became an international sensation. It just uplifted so many people when they're having a bad day. They've been through a lot of stuff. And you have people all throughout the world saying, "You helped my mother when she was going through chemo. You helped this person." Just feeling that emotion. So, I mean, to have that lasting impact from a child who struggled on his own, had to repeat 7th grade, was lost for quite a while. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful message, and beautifully done with the Lego concept also.
Yeah, I mean, personal testimonial, not going to get too deep into it, but that Happy song got me through a pretty dark place, personally. So I definitely know the power of that song, and I appreciate it. Just to think about, how big a song can be and how much it can help people. Just one song, and the emotions that it invokes. And it was just amazing, and at that period in time, and even like now, every now and then I'll put the song on and I'll just dance to it. No, not even nothing choreographed, just put it on and really just freely just dance to it, because it's such a great song. And even, Get Lucky, that's another song. I love that song. That's a great song. I love those songs. And those are songs that they don't really have a specific genre to them. They're just like, all right, let's put some music out, and some feel-good music. I love that feel-good music.
Especially, and I didn't know this before the movie, but he was instrumental in Rump Shaker by Rex and Effect, one of the great songs of the 20th century.
Yes.
Yeah, he wrote Teddy Riley's part in the beginning. Teddy with the 1-2 checker. It's so funny because they do the Lego version of like the video. You can see all the girls out there on the beach, and they even did like Lego version of like Kendrick Lamar up on the lamppost, street post. So yeah, it's so cool to see it like that.
Yeah, the little clips with the Lego parts, the Lego versions of the videos, you see like a little cameo. It's like a little montage. You see like Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and Nori. Snoop, of course. Snoop's gonna have a little bit input that drop it like it's hot. But like, it was cool to see the little video cameos of the Lego versions of the videos in that movie. That was so fun.
It was really great. We highly recommend it. I don't think we need to elaborate on bring the funky flick back or leave it in the vault, but I think we all know that we are bringing this funky flick back.
Yep.
I'll tell my Pharrell story. So I did meet Pharrell once. And this was the first NERD tour, and he was in Philly, and naturally we went to Pat Steaks. And so my friends and I, before we discovered better cheesesteak places in Philadelphia, but he was there, and he was there with Khalees. He was not there with Chad Hugo, who had been home with a newborn. So Pharrell was very pro fatherhood. He was like, very cool with him being, off the road and taking care of his family. And he was there at Pat Steaks. And the show was awesome. So there you go.
Go see it. Go see this film.
Absolutely recommend it. Go see it. Go see it. Go see it. Matter of fact, I'm going to see it again.
All right. Hip Hop Movie Club is produced by your HHNCs, JB, Boogie, and Dino Wright. Theme music by Boogie. Come out to Steel Stack November 13th for Boys in the Hood 4K screening and a special panel discussion with professors from around the Lehigh Valley. Whether you're watching from YouTube or listening to us on the podcast, please give us a follow. It's a real power up for us.
Remember, don't hate, be great.
Be great.
Absolutely be great.
Like Pharrell Williams.
Yes, sir.